and everyone is panicking, saying, oh my God, he withdraw his complaints. I don't think so. Hi, and welcome to Flawsome Talk. I'm Sashti Flo, and here on my channel, I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood, working as an entertainment reporter, and as you know, a lot about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal feud. Yesterday, some people complained that I was talking too fast and it didn't sound like me. I'm sorry about that. I did nothing different. Maybe I was too excited or something. I don't know. I didn't even realize it myself. So today, I'm going to speak slower and make an effort to make everyone happy. Anyways, I'm sure you were just as surprised as I was this morning because I woke up here in Spain. I'm, as you know, like 9 hours ahead of LA and 6 hours ahead of New York. And the deadline for Justin Baldoni's amended complaint was midnight New York Times yesterday. There is zero in the docket. And everyone is panicking, saying, oh my God, he withdraw his complaints. I don't think so. I'm going to go back to that very shortly. First, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported the song I posted yesterday. I did make a song with a little help from AI. I'm going to be completely honest. I was so inspired by all the other people who made songs with AI out there. And I was like, I'm going to make a song about my interview with Blake Lively. So if you haven't checked out, congrats on your little bump song. I will leave a link below. Anyways, if you want to make songs for free with with AI, it's really simple. I use ChatGPT to help me a little bit with the lyrics. And then I found this software called Refusion that I put my lyrics into. And then I got all these different options of what kind of music I wanted, what kind of voice I wanted. It's pretty amazing. So if you guys are making songs about this too, please send them to me. I would love to watch them or listen to them. Yes, so to people who ask me who the artist is, he is some person inside the computer. I don't know. But I did really like the result. I think it's kind of a cool song. So yesterday, Blake Lively was supposed to be deposed by Brian Friedman. We don't know anything about that yet. We don't know if it's happened. We don't know if she came up with an excuse. As I said yesterday, she's very known to coming up with excuses for why she's not showing up at different things, like she did with It Ends With Us. She was sick a lot. Her kids were sick a lot. Anyways, we don't know if he was able to depose her yesterday, but what we do know is that Justin Baldoni did not file his amended complaint. Remember, his case was dismissed, I think it was on June 9th, and the judge said that you are able to amend 4 points out of, I think, the 7 that he was suing Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Leslie Sloan for. But the major claims in his lawsuit were dismissed with prejudice, meaning that he could not file them again in that court. Now, everyone's freaking out, saying that, oh my God, Justin Baldoni just dropped his entire lawsuit. Some of you guys sent me Perez Hilton video from yesterday or from this morning where he was speculating what could have happened. He had 3 different theories. One is that Justin Baldoni decided to drop everything and focus on defending himself instead, which I think is very, very unlikely, according to Brian Friedman and his statements lately when he's been out in the press talking about how this is far from over. And Justin Baldoni wants justice. So very unlikely if you ask me. But what could have happened here is that Baldoni and his family are getting tired of being in the middle of this storm, and that's why they decided to drop everything. But I really, really don't think so. And it's not only Justin Baldoni who's being sued here. Remember, it's all the Wayfair parties as well. So they have to agree on what they want to do. And so, yeah, then Perez Hilton said that they might decide to appeal. What you could do, and this is what I think happened. I'll get back to that shortly, but this is definitely what I think is going to happen here. His third theory was that they are trying to settle here, which I also think is very unlikely. If Justin Baldoni is ever going to settle, he needs Blake Lively to admit that she's been lying about everything. She's not going to do that. And as well, if they were going to settle, they would have had to at least file something to the judge to make sure that that was going to happen now and that they will pause discovery. That didn't happen. According to Brian Friedman, who said this is far from over, I think definitely what is going to happen here, don't shoot me if I'm wrong though, but what I do think is going to happen is that Baldoni will appeal his case in full with even more evidence added to it to the Second Circuit, which is the higher court in New York. But before we get into that, I wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, CyberGhost VPN. Something that I talk a lot about here on my channel, and that's always been really important to me as a journalist, is to do solid research on everything that I talk about. That's why it's so easy for me to recommend CyberGhost VPN. With over 38 million users and 23,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot, you know you're in safe hands. Let's be real. The internet is full of shady sites and trackers, so online safety is more important than ever. For me, whether I'm researching sensitive topics, communicating with sources, or just trying to keep my personal data secure, I need a VPN I can trust. CyberGhost routes your traffic through a secure encrypted tunnel while keeping your IP hidden and your data private. Just turn it on before you browse and boom, 100% of your traffic is encrypted and rerouted through their secure server. No one, no hackers, no nosy advertisers, not even your internet provider can see what you're doing online. And unlike some sketchy VPNs out there, CyberGhost doesn't keep a log, so they don't even know what you're up to. As you know, I'm in Spain right now, and I'm sure some of you are going to travel this summer. And guess what? CyberGhost allows you to change your virtual location with just a few clicks. Then you can unlock geo-block content from your favorite streamers like Netflix or Amazon or whatever. I use mine to watch television in Norway. You can also get better deals and access games that might be restricted in your area. CyberGhost works on all major platforms: Windows, Mac, Androids, iOS, even smart TVs and consoles. One subscription covers 7 devices, so you can share it with your family or just keep your own devices safe. Right now, they're offering a crazy deal: $2.03 per month plus 4 free months. That's 84% off plus a 45-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 support. Stay safe, stay private, and keep the internet working for you, not against you. Baldoni will appeal his case. This is exactly what I did when my case was dismissed against the Golden Globe. I went to the Ninth Circuit, which is the name of this higher court in California, and appealed my entire lawsuit. The thing is, if Justin Baldoni were to amend his lawsuit first and accept the fact that his 3 biggest claims were missing, he would never be able to appeal those again. So the amended complaint would be the final lawsuit. So if he would ever want to appeal to a higher court, he would have to use that as grounds, which is, of course, what they're trying to avoid here. And I think some of the things that were discovered last week, some of the things that actually Paris Hilton discovered, this NPR interview with Megan Thuy, you know, the journalist from the New York Times, who said a few things that could really change everything. As I said yesterday, it could change the claims and the evidence against Ryan Reynolds. It could change the evidence and the claims against New York Times, and definitely the evidence and claims against Blake Lively. If you missed those videos where I talked about this, I will leave links below so I don't have to repeat everything now. But I think all this evidence is really valid and really valuable for Justin Baldoni's lawsuits. So if this is what he decides to do, he would have to file this appeal within 30 days of when the original lawsuit was dismissed by Judge Lyman. Also, I think, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but there's been a lot of talk about Judge Lyman having some conflict of interest here. So maybe that's another thing that Brian Friedman will bring up when he's appealing this case. I don't know. As most of you people agree with me on, is that Lyman has been very biased towards Blake Lively in this entire process. Okay, so if this happens, he's got 30 days, as I said, and then this could take between 6 to 12 months before the court decides. These things take forever. So this lawsuit, as Brian Friedman said, is far from over. They might be able to speed up the process a little bit due to the fact that there's a lot of media attention around this, and maybe they're thinking that, okay, we want to speed this up a little bit. But I think for me, when I appealed, it took at least, I think it was 9 months. So I don't know if that's going to affect the court date in March or not. They're probably going to make a decision before that, since they already have a court date, I'm guessing. I don't know. This is completely guessing for me, so please don't take my word on it. But we are going to have to wait quite a few months. Also, someone pointed out to me, thank you for sending me this email and reminding me of Ari Emanuel and what he said. You know, he was the CEO of WME, who was the management company that fired Justin Baldoni because, most allegedly, Ryan Reynolds told them that Baldoni was a predator. So in this interview, just to refresh everyone's minds here, Ari Emanuel admitted that he had fired Justin Baldoni, and he said it is a effed up bad situation with what Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. He said, until I fired him, it's not really fair. I've known Blake and Ryan for over a decade. They're really incredible people, he says. In Hollywood, they have been incredibly successful. People work with them. They've never had any bad mojo out there or treated people badly. They're charitable. We help them with their foundation. They've given tons of money away. That doesn't help if you're a bad person, by the way. If you give away money, you can still be a terrible person. And he also said that they're good people. They've been in the business for decades and have never had any bad press about them. I don't think so. That is a lie, especially when it comes to Blake Lively. There's so much bad press about Blake before this happened too. And he says, if what is alleged in her lawsuit that would happen on social media is true, just because she complained to the studio that things were unhealthy on the set and that he was a director and this man was the producer and they did to her what is being alleged, they're really bad people. So he is saying here that he's not sure this is true. He's just saying that they allege these things and he fired Justin Baldoni on that ground. And the fact that Ryan Reynolds obviously must have told him something, allegedly. The point of telling that story is that now that we know from that NPR interview with the New York Times reporter who said that Blake Lively told her it really wasn't that bad, she had experienced much worse, that maybe either Blake Lively lied to Ryan Reynolds and told him it was much worse than it was, or Ryan Reynolds lied to Ari Emanuel to get him to fire Baldoni and told him it was much worse. No matter what happened here, there are so many lies everywhere. And that's another reason why I really, really hope that Justin Baldoni is appealing to a higher court, because I think another judge definitely needs to look at this. Anyways, talking about narcissist, one of you guys sent me this video that gave me goosebumps all over my body. Yeah, thank you, Delicia, for sending me this video. I hope I said your name right. She sent me a video from Dr. Ramani. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about her. She's pretty amazing. She's a doctor talking a lot about mental health issues online on her YouTube channel. And this video, she's explaining what a smear campaign is. It's called The Anatomy of a Smear Campaign. And when I listened to everything that she said in this video, it's like she is describing every single thing that Blake Lively has done to Justin Baldoni.
Almost inevitably, a smear campaign involves a narcissistic or very manipulative antagonistic person. Smear campaigns are the tool of a vindictive, vengeful, insecure, controlling, obsessive, manipulative, entitled, emotionally immature person.
Did that give you chills? Was she describing Blake Lively right there? It's quite interesting because I think one of the things, especially that I've learned a lot about during this case between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, is some of the psychology behind all of this and why people act the way they act. And I think we've learned a lot about narcissism and narcissists and what they're capable of doing. And I think from that, we all learned that if we see any of these tendencies in a person, the best thing to do is run. if you can. I mean, some people have been in relationship with narcissists. I've been in a relationship with a narcissist. I recognize all these things very well. And we've all been in a work environment with a narcissist. We all kind of seen these people out there. We met them. We've been around them. So I think this is a reminder again that if you see any person with these kind of traits or some of these red flags, it's like, okay, take a step away. In this video, she keeps talking about how a narcissist thinks and how when they start a smear campaign like this, it's very rarely that they're ever going to give up. That's another reason why I think Blake Lively is not going to settle. She is on a mission to ruin Justin Baldoni. Dr. Romani is explaining this so well, and she's saying that a narcissist will go out and tell people and say terrible things about you to other people before you even get a chance to respond. Like Blake Lively did. She went to the New York Times. And then before that, she went to all the people on set. She went to the other actors to turn them against Justin Baldoni. Dr. Romani is explaining this so well. They usually go for the softer, more vulnerable person. And I feel Justin Baldoni is one of these guys who has his heart on his sleeve, is open, he's vulnerable, and he's also not afraid to share his vulnerabilities. That's what a narcissist takes advantage of. And then she says that people will start to pull away from you and you don't understand what happened. And I think that's probably what Justin Baldoni started experiencing on the set, that people started pulling away and he probably didn't understand why. And when they find your weaknesses, they bring it up, they twist the truth, exactly like Blake Lively did in her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. She took his vulnerabilities and used it, like he's been saying, that he hasn't been the perfect man, that he's a feminist and he wants to help women and he hasn't always treated women the way he wanted to treat them. And of course, she's been taking all those things and twisted them and used them against him to make him seem like a bad person. Anyways, I thought that was a really interesting video. So if you're more interested in that, I'll leave a link below to Dr. Romani's YouTube video so you can check it out for yourself. Also in the news, oh my God, Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively's publicist, has filed a letter to the judge asking the judge to demand that her legal fees are covered by Wayfarer and Justin Baldoni and their team, because as you know, the lawsuit, or the part of the lawsuit that she was involved in, was dismissed. So she's no longer a part of the lawsuit officially, until maybe he appeals, then she's back in, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, she's saying that all of these were baseless claims, and she's using James Vitushka, the Daily Mail reporter, and explaining that he was the only one that was linking her to any defamation against Justin Baldoni. So I talked about this before because James Vitushka, the Daily Mail reporter, was dragged into this because he had texted with someone on Justin Baldoni's team, one of the publicists. I think it was Jennifer Abel or Melissa Nathan. I'm not sure which one it was. But he had texted and in a text message to one of them, and he said, and now she's claiming assault, SA. And that text was used by Justin Baldoni's team in his legal filing against Leslie Sloan and everyone on Blake Lively's team, and said that, hey, you said this about Justin Baldoni and it's not true. And then James Vitushka said, oh, I didn't refer to Leslie Sloan in that text. I said, she said, and he was referring to her legal claims, Blake Lively's legal claims, and not what Leslie Sloan had told him. Apparently, they never talked about this. And apparently, Leslie Sloan didn't even know that there was any SH going on, which is, thank you, Glenda, for bringing this again to my attention. She sent me an email reminding me that a quote from Leslie Sloan, motion to dismiss, where she's saying that additionally, the Sloan party's role in the overall dispute is small. Ms. Lively's amended complaint discloses that Ms. Sloan was not even aware of the SH as it happened. She didn't know about it, and she said that she heard it from one of the journalists. I think Sarah Nathan told her, who worked for, I think, the New York Post, and she is Melissa Nathan's sister. It's so complicated, you guys. Anyways, I find it really strange, I have to say, that the publicist didn't even know that there were SH going on that set. if there was, but that's beside the point in this case, because what she's actually saying here is that they should pay $1.3 million in attorney's fees. First of all, no way she spent $1.3 million so far on attorney's fees. I don't believe that. And I think this is the reason why James Vitushka got a new lawyer. Remember, I spoke about that a few days ago. He lawyered up. He had 3 lawyers, he got rid of them, and now he's got a new one. Because if he is the only reason why Leslie Sloan was dragged into this on false premises, ugh, that doesn't look good for James Vitushka. And as I said, he hired a friend of Brian Friedman to defend him. I don't know. It's so messy, you guys. I don't know where to start or where to end with this, but I do think this is quite interesting. There's also a text message here from that was sent from James Vitushka, apparently, to Brian Friedman. So this must have been before he filed the lawsuit. And James Vitushka allegedly sent this and said, "Hi, Brian, this is James Vitushka. I need to make it clear that I do not want to be involved in this lawsuit in any capacity. Being part of this suit or having any association with it even if names are removed, will jeopardize my job and career. Please ensure I'm fully excluded and mention of Daily Mail in connection with myself before filing." Okay, so it's obvious that James Vitushka didn't want to be a part of this, and he tried to get out of it by sending the sworn statement to the judge, saying that it was all a misunderstanding. He didn't use those words. I don't know what he's trying to do here, but it should be interesting to see what he ends up doing. I'm not sure if Daily Mail even backs him, or if he's on his own. You know, a lot of newspapers have freelancers working for them. I don't know if he's actually working there full time and if they are like legally responsible for whatever he does with sources. I mean, they're legally responsible probably for what they put in the newspaper, but I don't know if they are with his talks. If he's a freelancer, I don't know. Yeah, so much going on, you guys. I can't wait to keep you posted, and I hope my next video is going to be about the appeal. Let's cross our fingers. Again, thank you so much for your support and for all your sweet comments, and please send me more tips. And yeah, don't forget to click on the link in my description for your special discount from CyberGhost VPN that they're granting my channel. This application will protect your data while you browse and give you full access to all blocked content on the internet for only $2.03 a month.